When I was a dumbass of about 20 years old, I gave myself the nickname of Jeremy. And yes, I say dumbass. Back in my early high school days, I was nicknamed Izzy. A much better and much more refined nickname for a genius that is actually fucking smart yet considerate. Jeremy Belcroix is none of those things. I could probably do an entire video on how this dude's a walking toxic idiot. In fact, I pretty much already warned you in the last Aelita Diaries notebook that Jeremy Belcroix is going to have his day in the rant sun. And it's episodes like this week's Marabounta, thanks Mrs. Hertz, the name based on the South American version of Brazilian army ants, and the way they would protect their homes. This would lead into the setup for what's going down here. Jeremy is creating a program based on army ants to try to keep the monsters at bay while the towers get deactivated. A kind of scouting slash first line of defense to keep XANA in check. Smart idea, but as you can tell by the Ryoko warriors' disinterest in the idea, they know this is a walking, flaming disaster. No greater Ryoko warrior exemplifies this than Aelita herself. Seeing that she's the real leader of this team, let me point out to you how many times this idiot with the glasses is warned of his upcoming stupidity. The first time, when the Ryoko warriors reject his proposal to see the idea through in person at the lunchroom. Aelita is the first to reject, citing Italian homework. Cute. Really cute. But you can also tell by her expression when he first is explaining the idea of what he wants to do that it's a clear no. Meanwhile, Yumi's off to the pool and Oric's off to spy on Yumi. Why? Because William's gonna miraculously be at the pool. God, I hate that love triangle. I hate it so much. And trust me, Carmen's gonna come back to bite Stern in the back in a minute. Jeremy then creates the program completely on his own. By the time it's ready to test, Aelita sees the program on the screen and once again tells him not to do it symbolically. Us by saying, what if there is a bug in the program? Second warning. The third warning is by her expression of dismay before hitting the scanners to see the program in action. Jeremy has to dismay her by saying if anything goes wrong, he'll pull the plug, just to keep a plot going. But you can tell by her immediate dismay and her hesitation to head to the scanners. That's warning number 3. Warning number 4 comes when Odd and her make touchdown and actually see this thing in action. It's a black goo that just dissolves Ryoko monsters in a pit of their own pain. It's almost depressing to see the monsters suffer as bad as they do under the vein of this thing. It's a really nasty piece of work as odd, delightfully one-liners, but it's the fourth and final warning. Aelita wants to immediately go back, which Jeremy should have said yes, but considering he's a complete total idiot, of course not. It is at this moment that the Marabounta thinks that she is an enemy. So therefore, the other Leoka warriors, thanks to Odd firing a laser arrow at it, even he's an idiot in this episode. Meanwhile, Warwick gets his cosmic retribution two ways. One by mouth to mouth resuscitation by Jim after falling splat in the diving board. Idiot. And the second is by a mostly reiterated and reclipped tirade from William, saying that if Oric doesn't learn the value of communication from the heart, he'll lose Yumi to him, which finally gets him to act upon the actual plot of the episode and stop being an idiot. What's the actual plot of the episode? Well, the Marabunta done gone crazy, and Jeremy, of course, because he's an idiot, can't turn it off now because the Marabunta has learned survival instinct. Idiot. So much so that XANA actually helps the Lyoko Warriors in the one and only time that XANA does a good. Of course, this is for his own selfish needs of wanting Aelita's memory and for self-preservation. Something that we'll see XANA do later, actually. But it's the bizarre flip of the script seeing the Lyoko Warriors and the XANA monsters working together that makes the episode one of the most interesting, bizarre, and memorable. Even Yumi pointed out that the world's turned upside down when she shows up to help. But it's thanks to Oric's timely interference and a virus, ironic, implanted into the Marabounta via one of Odd's laser arrows that the job finally gets done. We actually see that the Lyoko monsters know they're Japanese and bow in thanks for helping them out. But of course, this is only one day, one situation. It's going to be back to the battle for survival come tomorrow. But at least on this day, XANA will let the Warriors and Jeremy's stupidity off the hook. As you can tell, this episode all frames around Jeremy Valclaw being ill-equipped to be called the leader of this team, and his amount of desperation plus him just being a total freaking idiot makes this plot go. And boy, it's bad. It makes Jeremy look real bad. Incessant warnings, karmic retribution, and almost getting your friends killed. And what do the other warriors do? They let them off the hook as an accident. And why was the Marabunta going after Aelita first? Because of the whole thing with her memory being at stake. And the missing part. Nice way to bring up the main plot again in a small and useful way. But, of course, Jeremy being an idiot, he didn't observe this. Meaning the whole problem would have been avoided if he would have just listened to Aelita and let her go home. Or not even be involved in this. In other words, a completely preventable plot, but idiots got an idiot, right? And it won't be the last time Jeremy does something idiotic. In fact, we'll only get two episodes of reprieve before we have to do it again. In fact, we'll only get one episode of reprieve if my memory serves. And then he'll do something stupid again. But as for Marabounta, it's a 5 out of 6 episode with the most interesting plot and twist done with Ryoko yet. Big memorable moments that leave a lifetime and one computer driven antisocial idiot in a pear tree. But next week, my single favorite episode of the show. I've got a lot of baggage on this one. It's common interest. I hope you join me. And yes, that Jeremy diatribe, it will come. It will come real soon. That blonde hair dude has had this one coming for a long time. But until then, I'm going to find peace in my own nirvana and try not to beat a nerd up.